Okay, good evening everyone. We're going to get started at 6 o'clock. Thank you for joining us for our Higher Education and Access Virtual Open Day. My name's Amy Smith and I'm the Marketing Manager here at East Coast College. Just before we get started, just to make you aware, we are recording this webinar, so none of your details will be able to be seen, but it allows us to reshare it for other students who are unable to join us this evening. And also you'll see down the bottom of your screen, there is a question and answer button. You can type your questions in there throughout the presentations. And then when we get to the end, we will dedicate some time to answering all of those. So please feel free to type in anything that springs to mind as we go through, and we'll get to those at the end. Today, we're going to be hearing from Kerry Payne, our Assistant Principal for Higher Education and Adults, Paddy Shaw, our Higher Education Curriculum and Quality Leader, and John Pitts, our Higher Education Curriculum and Quality Coordinator. So first, let me hand over to Paddy, who's going to take you through the first part of the presentation.
Hello and welcome, and thanks for your interest in higher education at East Coast College, where we've been actually running degree and higher education courses for over 25 years, going back into the early 1990s. In those days, we had one degree course and I think 3 or 4 HNDs. When we were partners of Anglia Polytechnic University, which is now Anglia Ruskin. But since 2007, we've been partners with what was originally University Campus Suffolk and is now the University of Suffolk, which is based in Ipswich. And through those years, we've developed quite a lot of courses. I think you'll see from the next couple of slides, actually, that we now have over 30 degree level programs, which includes foundation degrees, honours degrees, higher national certificates and diplomas through Edexcel/Pearson, and recently higher and degree apprenticeships, where degrees are embedded within a wider work-based program of study. And on the right-hand side of your screen, you'll see that there's a mention of what is called the National Student Survey, which is undertaken by all higher education students across the UK in their last year of study. And the results that we've had consistently over the last 10 years or so, particularly for overall student satisfaction and elements of teaching and learning and student support, have been, we say, unrivaled in the eastern area of England. We're very strong with the NSS, so you have a good experience with us. So I should explain a little bit about, while you're looking through the list of what here is our foundation degrees, and quite often we're asked what foundation degrees actually are. After you leave school, if you've done A-levels or if you've gone to a sixth form college and done BTEC courses, you would be at level 3, and which is the last year of further education. As soon as you come on to level 4, you're moving into higher education. So higher education goes onwards from level 4. Foundation degrees are set at level 4 and at level 5. So that means if you study them full time, they're generally a 2-year program. How a foundation degree differs from a standard degree is that when they're developed, they have to be vocational. They have to be guided towards a particular line of work or a sector. As you can see, they're fairly specific titles in our foundation degrees. And there's, at the same time as developing you with the skills that you need for that sector, they're also working on your academic ability, so that should you take it further forward, you will not be disadvantaged. When we validate one of these, you have to have access to an honours program, right, which means level 6. So the foundation degree is level 4 and 5. And then the honours year is level 6. Now, here's the list of the honours degrees that we offer. And you'll notice that some of them have got next to them, they've got the words top up. Now, when that word appears, sometimes it's called top up, sometimes progression year. What that means is that's a 1-year program that's designed to take students from foundation degree to level 6. Now, the great thing about foundation degrees is that you don't have to. If you want to stop at level 5 with your foundation degree, you can. You have a qualification, a level 5 qualification. If you want to take it up to level 6, you could maybe take a year out and do some work and get some experience and everything, and then come back and do the top up. Or you could, as most students seem to do, is go straight on. But it is one of the criteria for running a foundation degree that there has to be access to a level 6 program. But I think it's important to note that whatever foundation degree you do, the title of your degree will be the title of the level 6 program. So if you went from a foundation degree in fashion and textiles to do the level 6 arts practice top up, you would come out with a BA honours in arts practice. Right, so that's important to remember. But you would study fashion while you're doing arts practice. I hope that's clear. It's a bit complicated, but hopefully that's clear. At this point, I will pass you over to colleague John Pitts, who's going to show you what we are developing at the moment.
Thank you, Ben. So good evening, everyone. Thanks for showing an interest in studying with us here at East Coast College. I'm going to talk about our range of new and exciting courses at East Coast College for the upcoming year. Higher national programs are vocational, often practical, and have been closely developed with employers. And we are pleased to offer new HNs in computing, business, public services, civil protection, international travel and tourism management, and engineering. We will also be offering a new foundation degree in creative arts for health and well-being. And in a first for East Coast College, we are delighted to be offering postgraduate level qualifications. Postgraduate qualifications are specialist in-depth qualifications at the penultimate step at the top of the UK higher education ladder. And we're pleased to offer this unique local opportunity in team leadership and management in health, social care and educational organisations. So all UK higher education is monitored by the Quality Assurance Agency and Ofsted for HE. At our last review, I'm pleased to say that East Coast College was recognised with full confidence in all areas with no improvements. So you can be assured that by choosing to study at East Coast College, you are making a good quality choice, as all our degree levels are the same as all other universities in the United Kingdom. So our typical entry offer is 80 UCAS points or above. And you can see some combinations of how this can be achieved on the screen in front of you, either through A-levels or BTECs. Please note the GCSE requirements and that these sometimes vary at course level, such as the GCSE Science C or Grade 4 for the Life Sciences course. We pride ourselves on providing opportunities for those without traditional entry qualifications and encourage anyone who feels that they have the experience or other qualifications to apply and follow the many that had already successfully done so. Fee information can be located on the University of Suffolk website, and these fees are usually met by Student Finance England. Please don't be put off by the stories in the media about student debt, and feel free to ask any questions at the end or contact one of our advisors through the email address that you will see at the end. So thank you, and I would like to hand over to Kerry Payne now, who will be talking to you about our wonderful access provision here at East Coast College. Kerry, over to you.
Thank you, John. Hello everybody, thank you for sharing some of your time with us this evening. I'm going to be taking you through our access to higher education diploma courses. Our diploma courses are aimed at students who are 19 and above. These are one-year programs. They are equivalent to 3 A-levels. So their predominant focus is to get you access to a degree program at any of the UK universities. First of all, I'd like to say that we're really, really proud that we have achieved a beacon status with our awarding body for our access diplomas. This has been based on our consistently high retention and achievement rates, and also our very high progression rates to university. So if you choose to study an access diploma with us, you can be assured that you will be supported very well to complete your studies, and you are supported to progress to your chosen higher education route. We were also pleased to recently receive some information from a local university that reported to us that almost 90% of our students who had previously studied an access diploma at East Coast College then went on to gain a first or a 2-1 degree at university level. All of our access programs are validated by the Cambridge Access Validating Agency, and like our HE provision, is overseen by QAA. So on the screen in front of you, you should be able to see the 6 HE courses that we're actually offering. The first one on the screen is our Science and Health program. Students who study this program will be supported into allied healthcare professions such as nursing and midwifery or paramedic science, but can also be supported to go on to science-based programs such as biology or chemistry, or some specialist courses such as nutrition. Second, we have our Social Science and Social Care program. This is a wide-ranging access program that can gain access to all of the different social science subjects at HE level. So whether that be social sciences, a humanities subject, or psychology, this program is there to support you. Next, we have our Life Science program. This is a program that supports students very well, again, into the allied healthcare professions, predominantly nursing, midwifery, and paramedic science. It can also help to support you into some of the degree courses in biology. Counselling is another very successful program that we run. Predominantly our students progress directly into counselling related degrees, although some of our students choose to study subjects such as psychology. Finally on the screen we have Humanities and Social Science. This is probably our widest scoping access program. Our students do progress to UK-wide universities to study subjects such as law, English, psychology, sociology, and potentially into some of the allied healthcare courses such as nursing as well. We're really all pleased to also be able to offer you, new for September, a Fitness and Health Science access course. So this is a course for students who are particularly interested in the sciences, but particularly on the sports spectrum. So this would be suitable for students studying sports science, biomechanics, or a health or exercise-based degree, ideally. Thank you for listening. So I'll pass back over to Amy now, who will take us through some of the questions.
Brilliant, thank you, Kerry. Yes, so now we'll move into our question and answer session. We've already had a few questions come in while you were speaking, but if anyone's got any more they'd like to add, then please feel free to post those in the Q&A box now. So the first one we've had in is, can I work alongside studying a degree? Who's able to help with that one?
Okay, sure, I can help with that one. So yes, you can definitely work alongside studying for your degree. The vast majority of our students do this. You would be expected on average to attend college lessons for your degree about 1.5 days a week. However, many of our degree programs actually run on 1 day and 1 evening a week. So it's best to check out what your individual subject of interest does, but you can most certainly work alongside your degree.
Brilliant, thank you. Another question here. If I study a degree at East Coast College, will I be studying at your college buildings at Lowestoft and Great Yarmouth, or whereabouts will I be based?
Okay, so I'll take this one as well. So as a degree student at East Coast College, you would be based within the college. So whether that be Great Yarmouth or Lowestoft campuses, you would be mainly having your delivery within the college buildings. However, we have numerous areas that are available to HE students only. So that includes teaching and learning spaces and also social spaces.
Brilliant, thank you. We've had a question here. I'm looking to apply for an FDA professional photography practice at Great Yarmouth College. Is this a course that you're offering in September? I'm not sure if that was one of the ones on the list. Are you able to help with that?
Yes, so it is correct. We are offering the professional photography practice at Great Yarmouth campus. I think that we have just missed it from our list on our presentation, so I'm sorry about that.
Brilliant, okay. And if that student has got any further questions, then they can get in touch, can't they? And we can discuss that further with
Of course, yeah, anytime.
Brilliant, okay. Another question here. I never ended up going to university and I have young children. Do you have other students in a similar situation as myself? I'm a bit concerned whether this would be feasible for me.
Shall I do that? Yeah, that is perfectly possible. In fact, we're not sure of the stats from last year, but most of a lot of our students, at one point, nearly 50% were mature students who were either working or had families. The way that higher education works is the attendance at college is not onerous, shall we say. It's normally about 9 hours a week, and obviously we've become very experienced at the online side of the operation as well now, so certain aspects of that will probably remain as online things, like personal tutorials where you meet with your tutor. So it's perfectly possible to combine higher education with working and with family life.
Brilliant, thank you. Another question here, Kerry, this is an access one. Somebody's asked whether an access course is full-time.
Okay, so yes, we would consider access courses full-time because they're delivered in 1 year to get you access to your degree programme the following year. The timetables are usually around 13 hours a week. So we normally would timetable those 2.5 days. Although the courses are supported by a strong virtual and online presence, so if you are not able to make it to certain sessions, you definitely wouldn't miss out.
Okay, great. Another question here, Kerry. Did you say that you get your access loan written off if you study a degree afterwards?
Yeah, that's an excellent question, and that is indeed true. So this is a government incentive for adult students to come back into education. And if you're successful in your access course, you progress to university and are successful in your degree studies, then your access loan would get wiped off. So that's a little bonus to study one of the access programs before you go on to your degree program.
Brilliant, thank you. Somebody's asked, how much support will I get from my tutors?
I can answer this one, as I'm still a practicing tutor at the minute. A lot of support from your tutors. One of the things that we have smaller cohorts than a larger traditional university. So whereas a place like that, you wouldn't necessarily ever meet sometimes your lecturer. We know all our students by name. We have open doors sort of on our office kind of thing. So it's not sort of limited office hours. They get tutorials and support sessions built into the program, and it's one of the things actually. Paddy talks about the NSS later that we always do very well and score very highly in. So I would, yes, support you get from your tutors is excellent at East Coast College.
Lovely, thank you. A question here around the current situation. So somebody's asked, given how things are at the moment with coronavirus, what will learning be like in September? Anyone able to help with that?
Yeah, that's fine. So we are open for business, essentially. So all of our degree programs and access programs will start as planned in September. Now, we appreciate that we may still be under lockdown circumstances, so we will be providing quite a lot of online support. So they will be live lessons, a bit like what we're doing now. So your tutor will come on to the screen and will be able to communicate with you and deliver the lessons in full. We also have very strong virtual learning environments, so that will be filled with numerous resources that you can participate in. We are planning wherever possible to bring in small groups of students initially for the first semester to make sure you can have some face-to-face delivery and get to know your classmates. And we'll continue to monitor lockdown rules and regulations, and as soon as we can get everyone back onto site, we shall do so.
Brilliant, thank you. Somebody's asked, how many years does the top-up degree take to finish? Paddy or
I could do that one if you want. Simple top-up. How top-up works is basically we call it a 2+1. So you do 2 years doing a foundation degree, and if you choose to go on to top up, it's 1 more year to get the full either BA honours or BSc honours. So that would be that's 3 years in total. The top-up bit is 1 year.
Brilliant, thank you. Another question here. What facilities do you have for science courses?
Okay, so that's one for me as a science teacher myself. So we have laboratory facilities on all 3 of our campuses. Our access programs in science and health and life science will be delivered on one of our 2 main campuses, Great Yarmouth or Lowestoft. We have a fully equipped and resourced laboratory on each site, and this is also supported by a well-qualified laboratory technician. For our science degree, the degree in practical life sciences, this is delivered on our Lowestoft sixth form campus in the laboratories on that site. And we have just recently had a £50,000 investment to facilitate this course. So we have all of the state-of-the-art and up-to-date laboratory pieces of equipment and resources you would expect to find on a laboratory course.
Lovely, thank you. Another question here. Somebody said that they've accepted a place to do life sciences, and they're looking to start working part-time. They're wondering when they will get their timetables through so they can start sort of figuring out how they can balance both. Is anyone able to help with that?
Yeah, that's fine. So I'm not sure if you were talking here about access to life sciences or the degree in life sciences, but essentially formal timetables are released when a student enrolls on the programme. However, timetabling has already taken place for these programmes. So if you could just pop an email into the email address on the screen, I'd be more than happy to share the details of that with you.
Brilliant. Yeah, it didn't say whether it was access or a degree, but I'm sure, as you said, if they can get in touch, then we can help further with that one. Another question here, what GCSEs do you need to do an access course? I didn't pass my GCSE maths, so I'm worried this might hold me back.
Okay, so this is a little bit more difficult to answer. It depends on which access course that you are hoping to access, and more specifically, which degree you hoped to progress to following the access programme. So if I just give you a few examples, if you, for example, were wanting to do one of the science access programmes and hoping to progress to nursing or midwifery, a number of universities do require you to have the GCSE in the maths. However, if you were accessing a course such as counselling or one of the social sciences, most of the degree progression routes from those courses don't require the maths. So this is specific really on your individual circumstances. If, however, you needed to have your GCSE maths and were still looking to study access, there is also the potential that we can support you through both programmes within the same year. So it's really just best to pop an email into the email address on the screen, and we can give you a very specific answer based on your individual case.
Lovely, thank you. And I think we've got our final question here. Somebody's asked, what are the benefits to studying a degree locally at the college as opposed to going away to a university elsewhere in the country? Is anyone able to help?
That's probably me, I think. Well, there's several advantages. Firstly, there's the advantage of, as John mentioned, that college-based higher education tends to be on a smaller scale than university education. So the classes are smaller. That you will get to know people much, much quicker, people on your course, your staff. The relationships with staff are very good. Whereas, for instance, in a university, you may have to wait for a 20-minute tutorial, which may happen once or twice per semester. Whereas we tend to operate what we call an open door policy, where students can approach staff about most things at any time. There's a speed element as well about getting familiar with your surroundings and where the library is and where the eating house is and all the practical things of the day, which are obviously a lot quicker in a college, particularly if you've already been at that college or you're familiar with it. And whereas universities do tend to be about the size of a small village, and sometimes, as my daughter found, you had to get a train to the campus that you're actually studying at. That can take time out of your first semester, just becoming familiar with what you have to do. And the third advantage is obviously in cost, because yeah, as well as your tuition fees, which are available through Student Finance England as a loan, you may well find that you need a maintenance loan as well. If you're living at home or you're living in the house that you already live in, and you're working part-time or you have some form of income, obviously this is going to be less if you study locally, because a maintenance loan is obviously added onto your eventual student debt, as we call it. So there's quite a few advantages. We never dissuade anyone from going away if they want to go away. We don't ever say stay here instead. Some people feel the need to get out of the area for a while, even if they come back later. But there are definitely advantages to studying HE in colleges.
Thank you, Paddy. We have just had one more question come in, so I will just do that before we finish. Somebody's asked, I've been accepted onto a course at East Coast College in partnership with the University of Suffolk, but I needed 80 UCAS points. However, when I went to do my A-levels as a private candidate, the exams got cancelled due to the coronavirus. What do I do in this situation?
Okay, so I can answer this one. So the first thing to say is not to worry and just to get in contact with us, really. We're very aware of the COVID situation, and numerous students who will be applying to us this year won't have had their exams completed. So the best thing to do is to contact us, not to worry. We will do our absolute utmost to support you to gain access to the degree that you want to. So just please get in contact with us and we're happy to talk you through it.
Brilliant, thank you, Mary. Right, that brings us to the end of our questions. So thanks ever so much for everyone that's joined us today. If you visit the East Coast College website and go to the Universities tab, you will find the complete list of all of the degree and access courses that we offer, and you'll also find details on how to apply as well. As we said, the email that's currently on screen, here to help at eastcoast.ac.uk, that really is the best one to use. If you've got any questions at all, please just send an email there and someone from the team will get back to you as soon as they can. So thanks again for joining us this evening, and we hope to see you soon.